Hello students, in this video we will learn the topic money and credit economics standard 10th. You have probably never thought very much about money. It is just there. When you want or need something, you simply collect some money and pay for it. That wasn't always the way things were done. So, would you not like to know about how money has come? Is there any question in your mind why we use money? Why not other things? So let's discuss why should we study about money? All of us wants a good income in our future. Everyone want this, which is measured in the term of money. Money is the means through which we measure how much we earn, we spend, we lend, we borrow, we save, we donate, etc. To earn economic wealth, managing money is nowhere less important than earning. Managing money, saving money is also important. Studying about the money and credit in this particular topic, which will enable us to make wise economic decision like allocation of money, investment of money, saving and expenditure, etc. So in this topic, we will cover different phases of evaluation of money, definition, features, functions, and significance of money, various modern form of money, bank and its basic functions, credit of terms and their role, sources of credit, critical analysis, role of cooperative, SHGs in capital formation. So let's begin with our first topic. How did money evolve? In the primitive age, need of people were very limited. Like they don't require lots of things. Their need was very limited. People by themselves collected everything like food to eat, skin of animal, plants to wear, etc. There was no need of exchange and money. No need of exchange and no need of money. So, how we use money after that? With the growth of civilization, we need something different. So, people started increasing their need with the civilization. People who were expert in producing some goods started taking it as a profession. Means they start their profession. So, they started collecting other goods that they need from other producer in exchanging of goods produced by them. For example, a person making stone tools gives the tool to the hunter and gets meat against the tools. So it is the exchanging. So do you know what is the name of it? Yes, it is a barter. So now let's check what is barter system. The system of direct exchange in which commodities are exchanged for some other commodity without using any medium of exchange. It means barter. Means apple can be exchanged by wheat, wheat can be exchanged by apple. So this is exchanging things. What are the main features of barter system? It is oldest exchange system. Barter system is the oldest exchange system. Goods or services are exchanged or swapped for other goods. No common measures or no common values into it. No money or other medium. But here one point is very clear, double coincidence of wants. It is the essential part of barter system. We'll discuss double coincidence of wants in the next slide. So double coincidence of wants is an essence of barter system. So these are some main features of barter system. It is direct exchange system and therefore needs could be satisfied immediately, because I have to give something to other and I have to take something from others. So direct, immediate effect. No medium of exchange is required. Low transaction time is required, which helps the people to avoid the risk of change in value over time. Low transaction time. So it avoids the risk of change in value over time. But there are some limitations in barter system. First, that limitation, need of double coincidence of wants. Lack of standard measure value, no measured value were available. Problem of divisibility. This is the biggest issue with barter system. Storing value, problem of transferring values, defer payment was not possible. So these are the limitation for barter system. Now, what is the meaning of double coincidence of wants? So let's take one example. There is one person, Ram Vilas. He is a potter who makes pot and wanted to exchange his pots for some cloths. He visited all nearby cloth makers, but none of them ready to give the cloths in exchange of his pots. So they want something different against their cloths. Means cloth maker don't want pots. So this is the example of double coincidence of wants. If cloth maker want pot and pot maker want cloth, then they can exchange. But in this case, cloth maker is not wanting, he is not able to take pots from potter because he is not having that need of pot. So they want something different against their cloths. So ultimately, to practice barter, there must be a double coincidence of wants. Means both the people equally needed that particular thing. Otherwise, no barter system. Then after barter system, new functions were there. It's a commodity money. It's already the primitive type of money, commodity money. In commodity money, like various commodities have historically sold, like cattle, tobacco, sugar, grain, nail, shells, hide, etc. But the transaction is still essential, a barter trade of one good or services for other good. No transaction, it is just exchanging. Here is also a few limitations. Same double coincidence of want, lack of standard measure value, problem of storing, problem of transferring, no defer payment. Then cattle money also, it's the same case, means exchanging cattle with something. But here is also the same problem, same limitation, double coincidence of want, lack of standard value. Same thing is repeated, problem of divisibility. Then we have metallic money, money by precious metal like gold, silver. They are having a common utility, but these were easy to store and not get damaged. This is the advantage of this. Conveniently carry from one place to another. Divisible in a smaller part, like now we are using. So started adding symbols to express value. It gives standard measure of value. Means now that they are adding values into the money. Like nowadays we have 50 paisa, 1 rupees, 2 rupees, 5 rupees. And then standardized with weight, size, and color. Now these are the modern coins. Still, most of the coins are not used in the market. They are totally banned from the government side. So money. What is the meaning of money according to this? Anything which is used as a medium of exchange, store of value, measure of value, and standard of deferred payment, that is called money. So money can be anything. Which power is having money? has purchasing power, used as a medium of exchange, used to measure value of any goods, used to transfer value from one person to another, used to store value for future use, used as a standard of deferred payment. So money can be doing, through money we can doing each and every part of this. Now, what are the function of money? It is a medium of exchange. We can exchange anything. Like if we wish to buy a vegetable, so through money we can exchange the vegetable. Store of value, we can store the money, we can store the wealth which is compared with the money. Measures of value, like we can have that measurable value nowadays. We can transfer the money, like if we wish to spend holidays or if we wish to spend a few days in USA, so we can transfer our currency with UK currency, USA currency. Standard of deferred payment, so for loan up, if we approve, if we take a loan from the bank, so by deferred payment we can give into EMIs or through installment. Now money in India. The coins and paper currency of paise and rupee are generally accepted as a medium of exchange or money in India. It's a medium of exchange. Paper currency note and metallic coins for denomination of rupees 2 and above are raised by Reserve Bank of India in permission of Finance Ministry of the central government. And at present, it issues coin and notes of 2 rupees, 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 500 rupees, and 2000 rupees. 1 rupees and its subsidiaries, means 50 paise, are issued by the Ministry of Finance, and it issued coins of 1 and 50 paise. Other names of modern, like symbolic or token money, high powered money, legal tender money, these are also different names of money. Now we'll shift the topic towards the bank. Bank is a financial institution who deals with money and credit as its a regular course of business. It accepts deposits from depositor and grant loan to the needy person. Thank you everyone